Alright, so I'm going to identify all of the upper extremity importances. Do I have permission to touch you?
Yes.
Alright. So for the upper extremities, the upper girdle, his clavicle is here, the upper trap is here, it runs into his neck, and then his pec is here, it inserts in the middle, and then goes across to his shoulder. For the shoulder girdle, we have to find all of the deltoids. So we have the medial deltoid is going to be on the outside, the posterior deltoid is on the back, and then the deltoid tuberosity is right here at the base where the insertion of the muscles for the deltoid will be. For the scapula, I don't even know how to say that, scapulothoracic. So the spine of the scapula, if I have to turn around, the spine of the scapula actually runs up over here towards the top of the the bottom actually of the upper trapezius. The infraspinatus is going to be underneath or on the bottom part of the scapula. The rhomboids are going to be on the medial side and insert towards the spine, or I guess origin towards the spine. Yeah. The serratus anterior is going to be underneath his arm. It's going to attach here and run, and these are the muscles that look like fingers, run underneath, or gills that attach here on his rib cage. For the upper extremity, I don't know where the bicipital groove is. What? It says the upper extremity bicipital groove. I think it's just like here.
I think so.
Yeah. So the bicipital groove runs here on the front of the deltoid. That allows it to attach to the top of the shoulder. The biceps brachii and tendons. Biceps brachii tendon runs through here and then attaches at the base of the elbow. The triceps from the other side back here, it attaches here and runs all the way down to the elbow as well on the other side. The medial and lateral epicondyles. So the medial one, is it on the front or the back?
Oh?
It's these right here, it's these bony structures. So on the elbow, on behind him, I'll be turned up with. It's the bony parts on the outside of his elbow. So here is the medial one towards the middle, and then the lateral one is out here as well on the outside. No. The olecranon process. I don't know what the olecranon process is. Is it the bony one?
Yeah.
So the olecranon process is the actual tip of the elbow you would see when doing flexion. And then the proximal and distal radial ulnar joint is proximal and distal. So proximal is going to be on the upper end or towards the top, and then the distal one is the further one down here on him. So here and here. For the lower extremity, the hip complex. So his iliac crest is going to be at the top. You actually just have your arm pulled forward. His hip complex is here, or the iliac crest is at the top of the pelvis, right there. The anterior superior iliac spine. Anterior is going to be front, superior is going to be the upper part. So it's going to be in the front here, probably running down right there. The tensor fasciae. I'm not even going to try to say that. Tensor fasciae latae. I cannot tell you where that is.
It's right here.
Is it? Oh, so is it? Oh, it's your TFL.
Yeah.
Duh. The TFL is here. The greater trochanter is actually inside the hip and is going to be that fat part around the femur, where the head of the femur starts to develop. The quadriceps, so the rec fem, the rectus femoris runs right here. It does both hip extension and knee extension, or hip flexion and knee extension. The vastus medialis is here. The vastus, what is it, intermedius? And then the vastus lateralis is on the outside over here. The hamstrings, so the semitendinosus is in the, not quite the middle, but out here. The semimembranosus is in the medial side, so it runs here. And then the biceps femoris runs here. And the biceps femoris actually inserts on the femur, not at the top of the hip complex, or the bottom of the hip complex. The patella, back around, is the kneecap. If you put your knees at 90 degrees for me. The kneecap is right here. It's the very outer or forward part of the knee. The patellar tendon runs all the way across over the top of the kneecap, and the kneecap actually sits inside the patellar tendon and attaches here on the tibia. The tibial tubercle. I believe it's on the medial side. I think it's here, isn't it? Is the tubercle the ridge, or is it the toe?
I think it's that, yeah.
The tibial tubercle is going to be right here on the inside of the kneecap and just underneath it on the tibia, right there. Where are we? Okay, so now the ankle and foot complex. You just put your foot right up here if you want. So the lateral and medial malleoli. I don't remember my foot anatomy at all. Is it the ankles?
I think so.
I think it's the ankles. Okay. Alright, so for the foot and ankle complex, the lateral and medial malleoli are the ankles. So they're right here. The anterior tibialis is right here. This muscle that runs along from the top of the kneecap down through and actually helps with toe flexion or dorsiflexion. The gastrocnemius and soleus are on the back end, or the calf muscles. The gastrocs are here, and then the soleus actually runs on the outside. On this side, it's mostly a stabilizer. The calcaneus, I'll have your foot put your foot back up for me one more time, is actually this muscle right here. The calcaneus runs right here. Is mostly the stabilizer bone. For the spine, the C7 and T1 are going to be the ones on that create an actual. Come on. For the C7 and T1, there's a protrusion that tells you where T1 begins, and the one above it is going to be C7. So his is right here for T1, and then his C7 is going to be just above it right there. For L1 and 2, it's the last 5 vertebrae on his spine before his sacrum, and they're going to be right about here where the spine begins to curve back out. So right about here. It's going to be his L1 and L2 spine.
Someone hit like 15
Lateral raises.
because they were just like, I was just like, oh, okay. We're in here, so. I'm not a big fan.
Are we doing all double raises?
Oh, we're doing forward, lateral, and posterior? Okay. Lateral this way.
And then you feel like you can't progress because you already feel pain at a certain way, and you're like, there's no way I can, you know.
I'm feeling these 15s with no warm up, I'm not gonna lie. And then posterior.
Yeah. How tall are you?
He's 5'11".
Do you do back squat?
So neutral this way.
Back squat. Your femur is too long. You're at a mechanical disadvantage.
Supinated.
So then just swap it out.
I was gonna do it all.
Just or we can use a band to just do that. Or
Pronate would be this way. Long width. Upright row. Like this.
that makes sense.
You want to try it?
I did that.
Is that 4? That's 4, right?
That's 4.
And then
The one where you're on your foot's on the wall. Your butt is on the wall.
sideline leg raise.
I love that variation. It's like my favorite way to target that. I don't know. It just works.
Kick out.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember the videos.
Yeah.
Just don't.